Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? Hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to do a little update on this P938. I know the 938's got a big buzz going on right now. A lot of people are thinking about buying it for their next concealed carry gun, or maybe you just want to, maybe it's your first gun. But anyway, I know that a lot of people are thinking about buying this gun right now, so I thought it would be fitting to give you another update. Took it to the range this week. I put another 75 rounds through it, and I just got done cleaning it up. So while I have it out here, and as you can see from the opening footage, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. Also, I've been carrying this gun for, I guess it's almost 2 months now. I forgot when I bought this exactly, but it feels like it's been about 2 months that I've been carrying it. So in any event, between 6 to 8 weeks, I've been carrying this every single day, everywhere I go. So I just wanted to point out a couple things about it. And I also want to talk about what happened at the range, because I did have an issue with it. And the good news is it fed everything good, fed everything the way it should have. The issue wasn't with the feeding or anything. It was actually a problem with the slide, which I'm going to show you in a second. And that was my error. It's actually something I did while I was cleaning it the first time. So that's why I wanted to update and make this video so that you guys know, to be aware of it, because this is also will apply to a 238. So if you have the 380 version of this gun, the same thing that I'm going to show you will apply. But anyway, took it to the range. I wanted to test some plus P's out. So the first time that I did my range report, when I put the initial 275 rounds in, you guys will remember, if you saw that video, that it was all standard ammo, some hollow points, but it was all standard pressure. As a matter of fact, I put some NATO through. I think I put a box of 9mm NATO, which is a little bit higher pressure. So anyway, today I brought the full-on plus P's out. I had gold dot 124 grain plus P's. Not today, I'm sorry, it was actually a couple days ago. I just got done cleaning it now though, but 124 grain gold dot plus P's. I also had some Remington Golden Sabre 124 grain plus P's. I put about 20 of each through there, so that's 40 rounds total plus P hollow point ammunition. I also put another 20 rounds of 9mm NATO. And I also put another 20 rounds of HST, which is just like that right there, the Federal HST. These are actually the plus P's in here, but I tested standard HSTs a couple days ago. So another 75 to 80 rounds. What happened here? What was the issue I was having? I told you guys I was having a little bit of an issue with it. Okay, here's what was happening. Every now and again, the slide would lock back on me. So it didn't happen every magazine, but I would say, well, out of 75 to 80 rounds, it happened about between 5 to 10 times. It definitely wasn't more than 10 times, but it was at least 5. So somewhere around 5 to 10 times as I was shooting. Sometimes it was the second or third round, sometimes it was after the first round, but what happened was the slide would lock back just like this. It would lock back the same way it would lock back as if it was an empty magazine. Now, in a way, I'm happy that there wasn't any other malfunction, so I want to be real clear about that. There was no issues with feeding. I didn't get any stovepipes. There was no failure to ejects. So in terms of feeding and ejecting, the gun fed clean, it ejected clean every single time, every single shot. Which, by the way, that would bring our total to 350. So we've got 275 rounds a month ago, another 75 this week, and I was going to put about 150 rounds through it this week, but I stopped at 75 because it was having that problem, and I'm going to show you. It was what I did. It was last time I cleaned it. I'm the reason why I was doing that, but I'll show you what to look out for. So, but anyway, our total round count now, 350 rounds through this gun. I'm going to show you more range footage at the end of this video, so I'm going to show you exactly what was happening with the slide locking back prematurely. And also you'll see a lot of good shooting too. So anyway, 350 rounds though for anybody who's counting total. And now I can say we've got 350 rounds of premium hollow points, plus P ammo, 9mm NATO, as well as the lowest, junkiest Federal Champion stuff as well. And everything flawless. So, what happened with this slide? Why was it locking back prematurely? Okay, let me just break this down real quick and I'll show you guys. And I fixed it too, by the way. As I was cleaning it just now, I fixed the problem. But what's happening is, if you guys just noticed, that spring just fell out. Now, anybody who has a P938, you'll probably already know what this spring is for, but or if you have a Mustang, Colt Mustang or something like that, it may be the same way. But for anybody who doesn't, let me show you what's going on here. This spring is what holds down the slide release lever, or the takedown pin, whatever you want to call it, same part, right? So what happens is when this spring is in place, let me just get it back in place here to show you. What's going on when this spring is in place in its normal position, it's like this. So you see the way that spring sticks out a little bit? That's because there's a spot on this takedown pin, and I'll see if I can point to it. It's going to be really hard to see because it's such a small part, but I just want to show you exactly what we're talking about here. If you guys can see this little square right here, it looks like you could probably see it on the video. I know it's not real easy to see, but there's a square right here, and it's just a little tiny notch that overhang of that spring fits into. So what that does is that spring applies downward pressure to this lever, so it keeps it down in the normal operating position until you have an empty magazine, which then the magazine spring exerts more pressure upward and overpowers that little spring, and that's what locks your slide back. Okay, so what happened is, while I was cleaning my gun, now I may go a couple of shootings before I clean my gun. Typically I'll go to the range a couple times, 2, 3, 4 times even sometimes before I clean the gun out, but this is typical. All my concealed guns or guns that I'm carrying every day, then I'll keep it cleaner, but typically I'll shoot them a lot before I clean them. But when I clean them, I'm really detailed. I mean, I detail strip these things, guys. When I clean my guns, I go through everything. I really take every little part out and clean it, polish it, oil it, wipe it down, and do it all again. So anyway, in the process of cleaning this, after the first 275 rounds, I was running my brush through there and pulling my rag back and forth like I normally do, and brushing this way and brushing that way. And I really didn't notice, because I've never had a gun that was set up exactly like this before. I didn't really notice this pin in there. So unknowingly I was pulling and pushing and yanking on that pin, and the pin became deformed a little bit. And I didn't really notice it. So then when I went to the range, this is exactly what happened. So it lost some of its integrity from me, pulling on it. The rag probably got caught on it. The brush bristles were, probably going over it pretty hard. So it was a little too loose. It lost some of its integrity, and from shooting the plus P ammo, it was enough to actually knock that slide lever up, and without enough pressure from that spring pushing it down, it was just floating up sometimes. Now on the flip side, I did get through a lot of magazines. I may have done 15, 20 shots in a row without that happening, but then all of a sudden it would do it. So, and it was an easy fix, as you'll see in the video. I'm going to attach the video at the end of this one, but if it was a life or death situation, it was a lot easier to fix than a failure to eject or a stovepipe or something like that, because as you'll see in the video, when it happened, it was just as simple as me noticing the slide was back and physically hitting that with my other thumb or this thumb and manually letting the next round enter, manually cycling the next round. But you'll see in the video, it was a really quick kind of thing. Is that good? Do you want it to happen? Of course not, but I'm just saying, if it was a gunfight, that would have been your best malfunction that you could ever ask for. It's just as simple as hitting the lever back down. So anyway, what did I do about it? There's a couple other things I want to tell you about this gun too, guys, so hang tight, because I've been carrying it for a couple months and I want to show you a few things that other updates about it. But I really want to make this clear, because you guys got to be mindful of this, and I don't want to see anybody else, I don't want this to happen to. I noticed a couple other guys posted videos up where they were having problems with this pin, and after seeing this, I can assure you, I guarantee it was because they probably did the same thing I did. When they were cleaning their gun, they didn't realize that they were yanking on the pin, or their rag or their bristles got caught on the pin. I mean, it's very easy to manipulate, and I can guarantee you that's what happened. One guy was having a problem with his pin falling out. Another person was having a problem like I am with the slide locking back, and I just see what it is. So I wanted to show you guys this so that it doesn't happen to anybody else. So what I did is I called Sig. I called Sig on the way home from the range. And big up to Sig Sauer customer service, because I've had a lot of Sig Sauers, guys, and I got to tell you, never had to call Sig service for anything. But I've heard some stuff about them. You know, I've heard that they don't like to send parts, that you have to... Am I doing this on camera? Sorry there, guys. But, you know, I've heard that Sig Sauer wants you to send the gun back every time, no matter what. So, anyway, the gentleman I spoke to, his name was Josh. And I explained to him what was happening. This is in the car, guys. I was in the car on the way home from the range and figured I'd give him a call. So, I explained to Josh what was happening, and I said, listen, Josh, I've had a lot of Sig Sauer pistols, never had to call you guys before, and I do all the work to all my own guns. So I do all my own gunsmithing, and you know, I'm pretty good at what I do, and I know what's causing the problem. I know it's because of that spring. So can you guys just send me a new spring and I'll put it in myself, rather than me sending you my gun? I don't want to send you the gun. I'd rather you just send me the spring. And if it still doesn't work, or if I'm still having problems with it after that, then I'll send you the gun. And he said, you know what? I could do that for you. So I was glad to hear that, because again, I've heard other people asking for parts from Sig and they denied them and rather sent a box for them to send their guns in. So anyway, it's good to see. Now that spring didn't come in yet. This was literally yesterday when I called them. Yesterday or the day before. So, but what I did do is I took this spring out and I reshaped it. And it feels a lot better now. So it's not loose like it used to be. And this should work good now. I'm still going to take it to the range and test it, but I'm going to probably go to the range this weekend. But if I don't get to the range, if the new spring comes in the mail before I get back to the range, then I'm going to put the new spring in and just throw this one out. And then I'll test it, because otherwise I'll have to test it again. But in the meantime, if I feel froggy and I get to the range before the spring comes in, we'll test it. But in any event, this feels nice, and it's the only thing I'm worried about is, do you see the way that came out pretty easily when I took the pin out? When this was brand new, this was real hard to get out. I really had to dig in there with my trusty pick here to get that spring to come out. So it was almost like they hit it with a little TIG weld after they put the spring in, because it was like that spring was born there. I mean, it was in there. So I don't know if they tapped it with a little TIG, or if maybe they just I don't know. I can't think of how else they would have really got it in there that locked in. But anyway, it's a little bit looser now, so I'm concerned about that a little bit. But we'll see. I mean, look, if worse comes to worst and it's not operating correctly, then we'll just send it back, and there's no doubt in my mind that Sig will take care of it. But I really believe that everything's going to be okay now. Even if I use this one, I believe it will be okay. So, that's that. Be mindful of that, guys. Again, 238 or a 938, same exact spring. So you want to be careful with that. Let me talk to you real quick, a couple things about carrying this gun. So I've been carrying this every day, every way, everywhere. Alright, I've been jogging with this gun, hiking, walking around my house. I mean, everywhere. Driving. I mean, just everywhere you can imagine. It's been on my side, or more particularly on my stomach, the whole time. Now, there's three different ways I typically carry. I either use a belly band, and I carry it kind of high on the belly band, or I'll do appendix carry, or I'll do Mexican style. 90% of the time, I'm appendix carrying. Okay? So, depending on how you carry this, you may or may not experience what I'm about to tell you. But for me, if you carry it the way I carry it, which is mostly appendix style, this is going to dig into you. The hammer, the thumb safety, the beaver tail, and the gun is just so light and small that it's not that big of a deal, but it's definitely noteworthy. Compared to, for example, I'm used to my LC9. The LC9 is just so round and smooth and rounded off, and so is the LCP. You know, so if you have like a car PM9, or you know, just any gun like that where it's real nice and smoothed off, those are comfortable. Those are a lot more comfortable than these. That's all I'm trying to say here. And again, it's not a big deal. This gun is just so small and so light. But for example, if you're bending over to tie your shoe or pick something up, you know, that hammer is going to dig into your stomach. So it may not be a big deal for you, but if you have sensitive skin, or somebody's sensitive to things like that, it's going to be annoying. So for me, it's not a big deal. It's, my skin's not sensitive, and I just deal with it. Although you do feel it. I mean, you can't deny feeling you know, this hammer and this thumb safety jabbing into your skin. So that's one thing. And again, guys, this is just a little update. All right, so if somebody found their way to this video, this is not a full review or anything like that. If you guys found your way to this video and you're not familiar with my channel, go check out my review. I did do a full review of this gun and a range report already, so you guys could check that out. It's a lot more insightful. This is just a quick little update for anybody who's been following this 938 and my other two videos. This is just to update you guys on a couple of the things I noticed and let you know how it's been running. So now with that being said, that's really the only thing I've got as far as the update goes. I got my trusty Walther PPK, and I just thought I might give you an interesting little comparison. These guns are about identical. I thought the LCP and the PPK were similar, but this is amazing. I mean, these guns are identical in just about every way. As a matter of fact, with the hammers down, or with the hammers pulled back, I'm sorry, with the hammers back, the PPK is actually just a touch longer, but only from the hammer. So let's just put both of the hammers down. And then you can see, I'm going to adjust my light here a little bit too. So you guys can see here, these guns are about as identical as it gets. So in terms of height, length, width, I mean everything. This camera's not set up in a perfect spot for me to do a comparison. So this is just a quick little thing I'll show you, but I mean, in every kind of way, these guns are almost the same. So hats off to Sig. It's just unbelievable how they were able to put together a solid, well-built, durable, dependable 9mm in such a small package. Hats off to that. I'll tell you what, hopefully they'll come out with a full stainless steel version of this, just like they did with the 238. I know the 238 has, I believe it's called the HD version, which is all stainless. So I like this gun a lot. I like it enough to buy another, and as soon as they come out with an all stainless version, I'll be looking forward to picking one up. I just like the way all stainless guns feel. I like the way they feel. I like the way they shoot. So I will be looking forward to an all stainless one if they get it, or hopefully they'll come out with one soon. And I guess that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, again, I've been carrying this for almost 2 months now. So if you guys have any other questions pertaining to this 938 and you know, how it handles or anything like that, just go ahead and leave a comment. And we got 350 rounds through it. As soon as that new spring comes in, I'm going to put at least a minimum of another 100 rounds through it, probably more. Next time I take this to the range, I'll probably put at least another 150 through it. So I'll be able to just update you guys again for anybody who wants to know. A lot of good stuff coming up. I'll end this by just telling you guys I got some good stuff coming up. I'm going to try and make more videos and you know, trying to catch up with my YouTubing. But I have some stuff I haven't even shown you guys yet. So I've been having so much fun with this 938. I've got 3 other guns that I haven't even shown you guys yet that I really like and I'm really happy about, that just haven't really had a whole lot of time to mess with. But you guys didn't see my new rifle yet. Wait till you see that. My new rifle is, I don't even want to tell you, awesome. I've been wanting it for a couple of years now. I finally got one. So all that's coming up. Oh, my P226. I'm going to be doing some really cool stuff to that. So I've been wanting to make a project out of that for a while, and I finally got around to ordering some of the parts for it. So I'll be putting that video out soon. I got a really neat 220 to show you. And I got a new 1911. I didn't want to tell anybody about that, but I got a 1911 for you guys. But that's not going to be for a while. I got to go through my other stuff first. Maybe I'll do a little sneak peek about that 1911. But nice, it's good. I like it a lot. I'm going to do some stuff to that too, though. And is there anything else I wanted to tell you? Maybe, I guess it looks like this turned into a little channel update, huh? Hope you guys don't mind. But take some time and update you guys a little bit. It's about it. We had a full week. We got a lot going on. Doing some work over at the house. And if you guys saw the new house and the new property, we've been doing a little bit of work to that. And we got a wedding to go to tomorrow. So, yep, busy week. Hope everybody's doing well. Comment, guys. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how your weekend is. I'm going to run some of these Spear Gold Dot 124 grain plus P just to see how it handles the plus P. It's the first time I put plus P through it. And target's out there at 25 yards, so we're going to test how accurate it is at 25 and also test out these gold dots in there. Got a jam.
Got a jam?
Yep.
The fuck?
Oh, look at that. It's not really a jam. The slide locked back.
Alright, you got a malfunction.
The slide lever jumped.
Okay.
First time with this gun. So we got, it's about 280 rounds. First time. I think I know what happened.
Maybe your thumb hit the thingy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's so small, it happens sometimes.
It could be the spring too. I'll break it down later, but when I was cleaning it out, this has got like a weird spring in there. And I'll have to do a video later and show it, but you got to be real careful that you don't pry on the spring. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but we'll see. Oh, shit.
Did it again?
Same thing. Yep, it's that spring. Because it was fine until then. A couple other people had trouble with that. Now I see what it is. I don't think they realize when you clean your gun, it's easy to pull the spring.
Okay.
So I got to see if I can get a new spring for that.
I don't even know what the internals look like.
Yeah, I'll shoot this. I'll show you.